And again the Olympian father fired up the Trojans, ramming Argives back against their own deep trench. Hector, far in the lead, bristling in all his force, like a hound that harries a wild boar or lion. Hot pursuit, snapping quick at his heels, hindquarters and flanks, but still on alert for him to wheel and fight. So Hector harried the long-haired Argives, killing the last stragglers, man after lagging man, and they fled in panic. Back through stakes and across the trench they fled, and hordes were cut down at the Trojans' hands. The rest, only after they reached the shipways, stood fast and shouting out to each other, flung their arms to all the immortals, each man crying out a prayer. But Hector swerved his horses round at the trench's edge, wheeling back and forth, tossing their gorgeous manes, with Hector's eyes glaring bright as a Gorgon's eyes, or Ares, man-destroying Ares. A total rout, and white-armed Hera saw it, and filled with pity the goddess's words went winging toward Athena. Look, daughter of Zeus, whose shield is thunder, don't we care for them any longer? All our Argives dying there in droves. This is our last chance. They're filling out their fates to the last gasp, hacked to pieces under a single man's assault. This maniac, Hector, I cannot bear him any longer. Look at the savage slaughter he has made. Eyes blazing, Athena answered, let him die 1,000 deaths, Hector's life and his battle frenzy blotted out by the Argives here on Hector's native soil. But father rages now, that hard black heart, always the old outrage, dashing all my plans. Not a thought for the many times I saved his son Heracles, worked to death by the labors of Eurystheus. How he would whine to the high skies, till Father Zeus would rush me down from the clouds to save his life. If only I'd foreseen all this, I and my cunning, that day Eurystheus sent him down to death, to the Lord who guards the gates, to drag up from the dark world the hound of grisly death. He would never have fled the steep cascading Styx. But Zeus hates me now. He fulfills the plans of Thetis, who cupped his chin in her hand and kissed his knees, begging Zeus to exalt Achilles, scourge of cities. But the day will come when father, well I know, calls me his darling gray-eyed girl again. So now you harness the racing team for us, while I go into the halls of storming Zeus, and buckle on my gear and arm for combat. Now I'll see if Hector, for all his flashing helmet, leaps for joy when the two of us come blazing forth on the passageways of battle. Or one of his Trojans too will glut the dogs and birds with his fat and flesh, brought down in blood against the Argive ships. The white-armed goddess Hera could not resist. Hera, queen of the gods, daughter of giant Cronus, launched the work, harnessed the golden-bridled team, while Athena, child of Zeus, whose shield is thunder, letting fall her supple robe at the father's threshold, rich brocade, stitched with her own hands' labor, donned the battle shirt of the Lord of Lightning, buckled her breastplate geared for wrenching war. Then on to the flaming chariot Pallas set her feet and seized her spear, weighted, heavy, the massive shaft she wields to break the battle lines of heroes the mighty father's daughter storms against. A crack of the whip, the goddess Hera lashed the team, and all on their own force the gates of heaven thundered open, kept by the seasons, guards of the vaulting sky, and Olympus heights empowered to spread the massing clouds, or close them round once more, and straight through the great gate she drove the team. But as Father Zeus caught sight of them from Ida, the god broke into a sudden rage and summoned Iris to run a message on with a rush of golden wings. Quick, on your way now, Iris, shear the wind. Turn them back, don't let them engage me here. What an indignity for us to clash in arms. I tell you this, and I will fulfill it too. I'll maim their racers for them, right beneath their yokes. And those two goddesses, I'll hurl them from their chariot, smash their car. And not once in the course of 10 slow wheeling years will they heal the wounds my lightning bolt rips open. So that gray-eyed girl of mine may learn what it means to fight against her father. But with Hera, though, I am not so outraged, so irate. It's always her way to thwart my will, whatever I command.